Welcome everybody once again to Tandie Jacobs' Born2Differ show. I'm absolutely excited to be having another episode, and I'm joined by somebody who is like a little brother to me, a young brother. I've watched him across many social media platforms, but I am joined here by the lovely Munashe, Chirisa. Munashe, how are you?
I'm very well, Tandie. Thank you for having me on your talk show. It's always very awkward when someone's giving you a little introduction. I'm right, look at you. But no, it's so awesome to be on your show.
To be on the show, and it's amazing, and it's wonderful, and it's an honor to have you here today. To be honest, I have seen your work, and comedy is just—it's like it was born in you. Looking at you, it's like you want to laugh. You know, you want to laugh, you know. But obviously people don't know who is Munashe. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, anticlimactically,
okay.
I would say I'm actually a very serious person. And I don't know, people just find it hard to take me seriously, but I wish the world knew how much of a serious
I don't think you should start by saying that. You should start by saying that.
I mean, we're letting them know who I am, you know. But yeah, you know, forget that. I am who I am. I guess I'm a funny guy. Some people always tell me that you're funny. I'll just take it and milk it. But I am an actor.
Okay.
I am a comedian, stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, and I write.
Okay.
And I think recently, I think I can call myself a musician.
Ooh.
I don't know.
We're getting there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
I can take that and add that in my bio now. So yeah.
And just add it just a little bit. Is it in small print, or you're proud to write it boldly?
I think right now it's not in bold. It's just like in thin italics.
It's just there. You just kind of slip it
in brackets. Just in there.
No, that's amazing. That's great. So, okay, Munashe, you were born and bred in Zimbabwe?
Born and bred in Zimbabwe.
So, when did you come to the UK?
I left Zimbabwe when I was 17 and a half, just before I was turning, no, I just turned 17 when I turned 18 in England. So yeah.
Okay, when I look at you right now, I'm thinking you're 18, not more than 20 years old. So, if I can, how old are you?
I am 28. I'm a
grown No.
Hey, I'm a grown man, guys.
I like that. You say that with such confidence. That time, I'm a grown man.
I'm sick and tired of being ID'd in shops. I'm tired. There is a little bit of flattery that comes with it.
Yeah. Trust me, every woman would want that. But yeah. I think it's the opposite for men, isn't it?
Well, in our line of work, I think it's a great advantage, because if I'm 28, if you say I can pass for an 18-year-old, then that means
you can pass for an
18-year-old.
Exactly.
An 18-year-old.
Exactly.
So that's good.
Okay. So at 28, are we married, single, searching?
At 28, we're getting serious.
We're getting serious. Yeah. We're getting serious. Yeah. Okay. No longer, playing around, doing the little boys thing. You kind of, okay, all right, I won't ask anymore. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to take a short little break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a little bit more about how you got into comedy.
Absolutely.
I'll see you soon. Back again to the Tandie Jacobs Born2Differ. I'm Tandie Jacobs, and I was talking to Munashe, who is by nature a comedian, and he has emphasized on the fact that he is not 18 or 20 years old, but he's quite a grown man at 28, which is great. And now, Munashe, there is something recently that you started which is called Made in Zwe?
Yes.
Made in Zwe. What is that about? What is that?
So, Made in Zwe, we've actually been around for some time now, probably since, the initial inception of the idea, conception and therefore the execution was probably around 2017.
Okay.
So, we've been around for a minute, and initially it just started off as just young creative Zimbabweans who just wanted to make dope stuff. And then out of that, it just sort of evolved into a bigger idea. So, now we are a creative brand, so we like marketing, fashion, music, and basically what we're trying to do is just to dictate the next chapter or the culture, creative culture of Zimbabwe. We're literally trying to rebrand the creative culture of Zimbabwe, because so often that we see so talented artists and like musicians and even people with great ideas, but then just the way they package the creative package of it all, like the outlook and how it's put out to the world, how it's marketed,
right,
maybe how it's edited or how it's shot and stuff like that. You can always see these great ideas, but then there's just something that's been lacking in the execution when you compare it to brands that are like in the Western world or like competing on a global stage. So we want to take that and just make everything about Zimbabwe just dope. And ways we're championing in that. We've got a Maiden's Way playlist that we've got going on. It started in February and it's been gaining traction. We're literally trying to be the next Billboard 100 type of like stake of things, because we want to be pushing our own talent. This is like any artist,
of course, get right up to the top, isn't it?
Heritage, all stuff. You find it on the Maiden's Way playlist. It's curated by some of like the prominent voices in the Zimbabwean music industry: Vusam Kaya, Plot Mako, Tapone Squama, Vunga, Jusa Demento, and ASAP, and obviously Kuda and the Maiden's Way gang. And we're also into like some social projects. We give back. We've got a Maiden's Way charity single, which is like an ode to Zimbabwe. It's got over 40 different artists, Zimbabwean from all over the world. And if I'm correct, I think it's the biggest collaborative project by Zimbabwean artists to date.
That is amazing.
And yeah, so it's something people should check out.
Check out maidensway.com. I like that, and I think what I like the most is the fact that many young people, when they come here having left especially Africa or Zimbabwe, they want to forget who they are, or they want, and then adapt to the Western culture, which is nothing wrong with that, but also owning your identity, knowing that I have somewhere where I came from, this is who I am, and this is what has made me. So you guys doing all this and collaborating, bringing all Zimbabweans who are here in the Western country, something that you were doing and making us shine.
Yeah.
I say yes because I'm part of it. I'm already part of.
You are already Maiden's Way.
I'm Maiden's Way. Yes.
Gang. You're part of the tribe, and that's just what we're trying to do.
But then, I mean, penetrating the market, I'm sure, is something that is not very easy, especially not just for Maiden's Way, but yourself as a comedian. A comedian and an actor. How has that, what kind of challenges did you face? How has that been difficult or easy for you to penetrate the market? But also in terms of culture, I mean, how did you cross that bridge? Or is it a bridge you're still crossing?
It's still a bridge I'm crossing. To be honest, I guess in order to answer that and do that question justice, I'd have to like break it into two.
Okay.
So comedy wise, part of the reason why I started out doing comedy and why most
When did you start comedy?
I started doing comedy in 2013. I think 2013, 2014, that's when I had my first professional stand-up comedy gig at African Comedy Festival, which is in Golders Green, and it was run by this guy called David Balagan. They used to bring in like a number of African comedians from all over Africa, and because obviously me being a resident in the UK, so I was get a residency spot, so I was always like open curtain race for these guys. It was a bi-monthly show.
But then that was more of on a professional level. When did you start in terms of thinking I want to be a comedian?
I would say in 2000, and I think I'd always had a niggling feeling to be a comedian. But when I actually had the courage to say, okay, I'm going to do it, I think it was in 2013, 2012 at university in Nottingham-Trent.
Okay.
And yeah, I just went to an open mic night and, told some jokes. Went down like a lead balloon. It was terrible.
I'm sure.
Oh my God, it was awful. It was so bad. I was like, I dance too. Let me dance. And then I danced, and everyone came to me. I was like, yeah, stick to dancing. So was a mess. It was a mess. But then, you know, a year later, I was doing this gig, which was just by absolute chance. The guy just saw like a gig that someone filmed and put it on Facebook.
You see, but I like that. You were at university, an opportunity came on an open mic, and you decided to just step up and, you know, your fears, you put them aside, and I'm going to do this, you know, in front of people. And as much as people laughed and said I should focus on dancing, right now we don't know you as a dancer. I don't think I want to see you as dancing. We know you as a comedian, but it's like how you started, and the university people said, no, you can't do this. The pupils, your friends, your colleagues were probably laughing at you and not at your jokes.
Not with me.
Exactly. There's a complete difference. But you pursued this and you continued. You're like, this is what I want to do. What about family? Is this something, because I mean, in the Zimbabwean culture, I don't know if it's something that is now picking up now, or is it acceptable as much? I mean, if you go to your parents, you're like, Mom, I want to be a comedian.
Oh, wow.
Like, oh, what about lawyer, doctor, teacher?
Yeah, we got that. You can bet yourself that you're gonna get that. It's automatic. I mean, that mentality comes from the countries we're from. Yeah. Where there's no industry for it or a market for it.
Exactly.
It just doesn't make sense.
And then your parents are thinking, where is this gonna take you? What are you gonna do?
Who's gonna give you a job? Because it's not about getting a job the one time. You need to be constantly getting jobs.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? For
it has to be a constant thing until you're like known and established.
Yeah. So I really commend people who are doing it in Zimbabwe and pulling it off, because hats off to you. Yeah. So what about, so that was family, but what about penetrating the society as a whole in terms of yourself, the environment? What challenges did you face as a comedian? I know you're now an author, a songwriter, and all the other titles and hats that you wear, but how have you been able to, because I'm thinking, is it comedy what you first started with before you to penetrate the industry, and then you started these other things? So how did you manage to penetrate that? What kind of challenges did you face? So cultural challenges, it's just the very straightforward. Like the acting industry, in order to get into the acting industry, I went to uni and I did performance art on film, stage and television. Okay. And you graduate that, hopefully get an agent, start getting castings, and then hopefully get some roles, and then...
Which you have, isn't it? Yeah, because you've been on Amazon now?
Yeah.
Amazon, you've done some adverts on Amazon, some adverts on... You've been to the theatre?
Yeah, I've been doing mostly theatre, to be fair, since I graduated, which is... There's more theatre work out there, so you can... It's more sustainable in that sense. Okay. I mean, film has got money and TV's got money, but they're really hard to get. But, I've been getting some really good auditions. It's just a matter of landing one. But obviously, because of Corona, that's just...
It's turned everything.
But everything was going pretty well. I couldn't complain. But culturally, like, there's an RP accent that you need to be able to nail. You know what I mean? Yeah, you kind of have to have gone to a drama school, and then these drama schools, sometimes they're very elitist. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to be coming from somewhat of a posh background. You know what I mean? And
was color ever an issue? Being black?
Color is always an issue. Like they're working on it. The industry is doing a lot to try and improve on it. Okay. But roles for Black African, the breakdown, like a Black African male playing age between 18 and 28. There's not that many, and when they do come, they're crowded. This, you know what I mean? So there's just, because the majority of producers, writers, they're white, so obviously a lot of the material and the content of the productions are gonna be heavily cast on the white side of things.
Well, we better land you some money then to be able to be the producer and to have all these people so that you can do this, because you are loaded with so much potential. I mean, you're a comedian, an actor, an author. So as an author, what is it that you've kind of done?
As an author, at the moment, I've just been pretty much helping my Sekuru Makamanzi, who used to play with Andy Brown.
Okay.
All of these guys already put out a book again, but we're trying to work on a second book, which is on the history of Mbira. So it's actually a bit more on the research side of things. And
do you play?
I don't actually. I've been trying to learn, but I'm surrounded by such incredible Mbira players. So we're actually working on a documentary as well to accompany the research that we're going to be doing and that side of stuff. But in terms of my own books and whatnot, I just haven't really had the right subject that's
there
into. I've written just little short stories and little, stuff that I'm intending to turn into scripts and then make into short films, which is why I haven't really been putting out a lot of sketch comedy material on my social media, because I've just been working on it.
Yeah, because you do quite a lot of little skits, isn't it?
Yeah, those are just, just hold that.
There's one I particularly like, because I do watch it over and over, where you are by the train station, and there's this guy, I don't know what his name is, who he's always featuring.
Comrade Fatso.
Yes, Fatso, yes. And you are there and you were like, oh no, we're like a windy.
The London train operator.
And you're like the London train, and you literally jump onto the train and you're like, and you start calling people. Oh my God. That is just hilarious.
The first one we shot, I remember we actually kind of had to run away from the train station at some point because I had a turban, and at some point I got carried away and I was really moving like a wind, and I was banging on the train. I was like, and then people kind of got uncomfortable, like, what is he about to do?
There's a black boy here who's acting all weird. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back just soon. Thank you very much. And we are back again to the Tandie Jacobs show. So, Munashe, what would you say to someone who is out there trying to make it, who's black, a young boy trying to make it out here in the Western world, to penetrate the market in terms of entertainment, in terms of art, and the challenges that they are to face? What is your encouragement to them?
My encouragement is that if you're black, particularly African, because I feel like I could speak a bit more on that, is that your Africanness, or just the most unique thing about where you come from, if you hold on to that and make that your first step forward when you're presenting yourself or what you're about, will automatically make you stand out.
Okay.
Right? So when I rap,
okay, when I rap,
right? You find that a lot of the music I make, I rap in my mother tongue. I rap in Shona, and that's simply because the minute I start rapping in English, I am now just so average. I am I'm just somewhere in this house, somewhere up the street, there's probably a guy who can rap in English, who can write a rap. There's probably so many people who want to be rappers that is rapping in English. But the minute you are rapping in Shona, that just means that it shrinks the pool, that it's easier to stand out automatically.
But then will one not say that will make it difficult for me to penetrate the market if I am sticking to my own mother tongue?
But are we not listening to Afro beats right now? Did Beyonce not just make a whole album featuring African artists? Black is King. It's all about how you then use it. Collaborate with people.
Okay.
Do fusions. Blend it. Why can't you rap in Shona to Latin American music? they might not get it, but they might vibe to it. There's so many ways to penetrate and be original, but if you keep your identity and that little source that makes you different from everyone, your chances increase.
And this show is born to differ, isn't it? Because everybody's different.
See what I mean?
You see, it's funny that you're saying that. I'm just remembering, I have probably a couple of weeks ago, I was watching the legend, Oliver Mtukudzi, may he so rest in peace. I was watching him on one of his live shows where I think he was probably here, I don't know whether it was here in the UK or whether it was New Zealand or somewhere, and the crowd was full of Western people. There weren't many African or black people who were there. And the way they were dancing, and he was singing in Shona.
Yeah.
And I was actually fascinated by the way they were dancing to the music. And it was packed. You know, he was able to fill a whole, it was bigger than a stadium, or maybe it was a stadium, I don't know. But the area, the ground was so big and he was able to fill it up. But he was singing in his own language.
Well, there you go. I mean, to date, I think the biggest touring group in Zimbabwe, Mokumba, right? The majority of Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe don't even really know them. I mean, they might not even really understand their language because they're not speaking Shona. Sometimes they mix, I think, Ndau, Venda, all of those other languages we have in Zimbabwe.
Mukumba.
Even Zimbabweans, if both stand in Zimbabwe, if they go to a Mukumba show, they'll be like, yeah. But these guys are touring every single month all over Europe. They've got the biggest European following you could even. I think they've got more white European fans than they've got Zimbabwean fans.
Wow.
So again, it's testament to what I'm saying. It's if it does it sound dope, does it sound good? Before anything, don't worry about what am I saying. Does it hit you?
So it's one of those things where it has to come from within, your passion, your drive, because this will then flow easily. Because I believe your talent and your gift will take you far. So you're obviously doing it in a way that you are comfortable in. And this will make you shine. It will take you places.
In your own skin. Like one of my favorite collaborators, long time, good friend of mine, John Fumajena, or stage name popularly known as John Falsetto, who I did the Chido single with.
Oh yes, the Chido single, yes.
And his career has just taken off. He's just been doing the most amazing stuff over the past 5 years or so. And he's a mbira player. Everywhere he goes with his mbira, and he's got a bag of talents.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when people see him do what he does with his mbira, they absolutely lose their mind because they've never seen that over here.
No, they haven't.
He's put the mbira on like Shakespeare's Globe. He's put the mbira in National Theatre. He's put the mbira in Abbey Road Studios. Where
wow.
Beyonce herself records if she's in the UK. He's played the mbira in there. So you see, it's literally opened so many doors. Now imagine if you tried to be snobby about it and say, nah, that's African. Yeah,
salad.
No. How many piano players do you know in the world? How many exceptional guitarists are there? You know, so it's just be true to yourself, and that's something.
Be who you are, isn't it?
Yeah, where you come from.
No, I do like that. And you got a very valid and important point, and it's quite an encouragement, especially to the young people, that be yourself, okay? Own it, your identity, your originality. Be honest and unique to yourself. Yeah? So what is the future then? What have we got looking forward? I know there's a lot that's happened, especially during the COVID period. For starters, you were supposed to be a guest on my show, on my event, you know. So not on my show, on my event, which was supposed to be on the 23rd of May. But
I woke up with the hot sweat because I completely forgot because the lockdown had happened, and obviously I just woke up sometime in May. I was like, Born2Differ. Oh my God, Yapura, what's happening with that? And then I realized it's a lockdown. I was like, okay, so I got cancelled.
No. Yes, so we definitely had to cancel that. So a lot of things, obviously, with people they have put on hold. Some people have postponed. So what is the future then for you?
I Unfortunately, at the start of the lockdown, I was literally in the middle of a tour. We were doing a play called Volponi, and we were touring Southwest England. And then Corona hit, so that we were literally on our way to Bristol, and then just literally.
So when you say on your toe, as on a toe, on a not toe, toe. On a toe. Was it just yourself or made in Zwe, or was it in collaboration? Sorry.
So this was a theatre production. So
I see.
Acting. So this was just me in my own capacity as an actor, as part of the theatre company. So it was a 3-hander. Actually, the play, and just literally had to do a U-turn, and that was that. And but at the moment, it's just about creating your own content now, I guess, because castings, even my agent was like, "Hey, it's quiet.
It's quiet
because theaters aren't open." So now, where television and film was already hard to get, it's even harder now because everyone's coming from stage to come to screen. So at the moment, I'm just working on my own material. I'm developing my pilot, which is fully finished scripting, and now it's just a matter of shooting it. We just finished shooting a short film, which I wrote and directed and collaborated with Daniel Lasker. Daniel Lasker is based in Cape Town, a Zimbabwean actor and filmmaker. He's pretty dope. He's going to be in HBO Max's new flagship series called Raised by the Wolves, written by Ridley Scott. So it's the next Game of Thrones. So big budget like that. And Daniel Lasker is a series regular in that. So yo, before you get too famous, let's
work together. Let's do this.
I'm really excited about that. We haven't finished. We're still in post-production, but the main bits that we shot over here are finished. And Chido Part 2. I mean, we promised the masses that if you gave us 100,000 views, we're gonna give you Chido Part 2. So Chido Part 2 is in the canon, and look out for Maiden's Way merchandise.
Oh yes, Maiden's Way merchandise. You don't have any on you right now?
Unfortunately, people always raid me. People visit me and they're like, like buy one, and then they buy, and then they go and they give it to a relative, and then come back and say, give me yours. And that's been the story of my life.
But where will people be able to buy if they want to?
Any merchandise coming will be on maidensway.com/shop. So if you just go on maidensway.com, like pretty much the landing page, you're gonna find the shop. Trying to drive everyone there. So we've got a winter collection of hoodies, jumpers, and some t-shirts coming for you.
I would have loved to have had some on today.
You know what? It's such a shame. I should have bought something.
No, it's all right. Next time, you'll be coming to my event. You will bring them then.
Yes, we need to fulfill our agreement.
Well, Munashe, it's been an absolutely pleasure to have you on the show today. I'm absolutely thrilled, and you have said a lot. Now, having Munashe on the show, Munashe is a comedian. If you want to hire him, if any event you're going to have and you just want to slot in some laughter and people to feel more relaxed, this is the man you need to get in touch with, okay? As well as being an MC. Yes, you are also. He's also an MC. So if you have an event, please do contact. If you can't get hold of me, contact him. Okay.
Easy.
So that he can also be an MC. He's also an MC at any event, and you are guaranteed that people will have a wonderful time. That's weddings, parties, funerals. He will turn a funeral into a happy occasion.
Into a farewell occasion.
A farewell occasion. Thank you for saying that. That was the wrong thing to say. That was the wrong thing to say. But no, thank you so much for coming here today. I absolutely enjoyed it, and it was such an honor to have you.
It's such a pleasure being here, and I'm looking forward to more shows and chats and engagements with you.
Fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tandie Jacobs' show, where you're born to be different. Munashe here was telling us about how he himself is different and has penetrated the market and the industry as a comedian, as an author, a songwriter. I'm not sure about the dancing bit. He's probably still learning. I'll leave it at that. But there's a lot of things that he's doing at such a young age. He's been able to get connected with different people. If there's one thing I believe in, is power of divine connections. Somebody who you meet who will help you and take you to the next level. During this interview, Munashe mentioned a lot of people that he's worked with, met, and at one point, as we're sitting and chatting, I said to myself, is this about other people or is it about him? But the reason why I love about it is he mentions these people because they've made an impact in his life and how they can take him to the next level. So whenever you meet somebody, don't disregard them, respect them, because you never know where they'll take you to. Thank you very much. I'm Tandie Jacobs, Born to Differ.